ladies and gentlemen. Ron Wallace here with Ball Down South Sports Network, here with a second episode of the interview today. I can tell you this next guest that we have on here is no stranger to football. He's a winner from all levels. He's coached on the college level. He's coached in classifications 1A through 5A. He's a two-time region champ with his current occupation where he is right now. I can tell you, let me go ahead and bring him on here. Mobile Christian head football coach Ronnie Cottrell. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great, Ron. Good to be on here with you tonight.
Well, hey, I'm glad we were able to have you on here today, Coach. You guys were able to get any workouts in today at all?
We were. In fact, I told our players this morning that, we've been able to work every day this week, which with the rain we've had, that was a miracle. And we're just glad to be practicing, Ron. I mean, it's good to have these guys back in here. So many places don't have the opportunity to do what we're doing right now. And, of course, it's different. The new norm is, we're taking temperature before they come, and we're cleaning and observing social distance. We're doing all we can. But, man, it's just good to be practicing.
Well, that's good. That's good. So what are some of the, now you say you guys were taking temperatures and stuff like that. You guys are following the I guess the guidelines from the state that they put down, and then you guys probably add some extra stuff of your own.
Yes, sir, we do. And we just, our strength coach, Terry Cagle, just does an outstanding job. And that's the place that is probably the scariest for me because it's tighter quarters. You got guys spotting, and we're just trying to keep equipment clean. We got all our kids masks, encourage them while we're inside to wear masks. A couple of guys wear it outside, but I don't know. We're just in a different now, Ron. We're in a different time, and we're just trying to avoid getting that virus in our program.
Well, Coach, like I was saying earlier before bringing you on, you guys have coached at the college level, and then you came down to the high school level. You've coached in like 4 different classifications here in the state of Alabama, and you got 2 region championships under your belt. So with all the knowledge that you've gained from over the years coaching football at different levels, how has that articulated, and how were you able to bring that to the guys over at Mobile Christian?
Well, Mobile Christian is probably one of the nicest jobs I've ever had. I mean, it's a great school, and you've been over there, Ron. We got great kids there. But what I've learned in my career since I've started coaching in 1979, so I've been doing it a long time. But the field's the same size, and the games are just as important to the guys at 1A. They're just as important to the guys at Troy. When I coached at Troy, we were Division II, as they are at Florida State or Alabama. The game itself is it's just an important to all levels. Now, what I really love is the fact that we have the opportunity to make a difference, Ron. I mean, as a coach, I don't know of any other person except maybe a pastor that can influence children the opportunity we have. And I'm a high school coach today because of my high school coach at T.R. Miller High School in Bruton. His name was Frank Cotton. I mean, he changed my life. But, there's days I miss running out of a tunnel at Alabama or Florida State or one of these places at University of Michigan or somewhere where we played. But what I do know, without any fear of contradicting myself here, is football is the greatest game there's ever been. I mean, it's a team sport, and we're just very, very fortunate. We've had 5 really good years at Mobile Christian. We've played in 2 championship games, and I'm just hoping that it can continue. But as you and I talked off the air, I mean, we're moving to 4A this year, and that's not going to be fun, I don't think. I don't think that's going to be very fun.
Well, you guys went 9-5, 4-1 overall in the region, and you guys got to the 3A playoff championship game against Piedmont. How awesome was that game against Piedmont? You guys only lost by 2 points.
Well, and we led the whole game, Ron. We led the whole game. But I know you were at our Gordo game. I know you were there. Oh, yeah. and covered several games for us. But we started this season, we were 3-4, and we had played UMS, who was, a number 1 team. We played Catholic, who was a number 1 team. We lost to Faith, who was doing a phenomenal job. They didn't lose a game till late in the year. And, we lost to Flomaton, who had not lost a game. So when we were 3-4, we really became a unit. It was amazing. Our players pulled together, and I mean, you saw us play Gorda. What a special football
Oh yeah.
team we became, and we talk about it every year. But we're only as good as we're able to play together. I mean, you can have a bunch of good players, but if you don't play together, you just got a bunch of good players. And Piedmont, I thought, was a great example. Piedmont had a phenomenal football team, and they just got the ball last. We didn't have enough time at the end to change the score, but we led most of the game. They scored late, and it was just the kind of football game you thought you would play in a championship game against a team that you would think you would play against. So, no, I just hope we get to go back. I hope we get to go take these kids to the championship game again one day because there's no experience like it.
Now talk about those players you got on that roster that you got coming back. You know, you got Brooks, who's definitely he can go from one end of the field to the next end of the field, and nobody's gonna catch him. You know, you got Deontay Lawson, and you mentioned somebody to me to look out for this season. You got somebody new coming up. That's I think he's gonna be a senior. You got at least about 19 seniors, I think, on your roster.
We have 18. We have 18 seniors, and Toller Kegley was offered a scholarship this week by East Carolina. And I know you picked Jason Brooks out early. I know your service. Y'all saw that. What a talented guy. He's a 10,500 meter guy. And but Deontay's currently committed. He's currently committed to Alabama, but Auburn, LSU, Clemson, none of those guys have stopped recruiting. And you've
Okay.
been doing this a long time, Ron. I don't think any of that's over. I mean, I think uh, most of the schools that are recruiting are still recruiting, and I don't know, to be a really good player or Division I player is a good thing because there's a lot of good talent that comes out, and a lot of college coaches come down here, and you know, 18 seniors is a lot for us, but like I said, we're moving into a different region. We play a brutal schedule. We're going to have to play well if we're going to be successful.
Name some of those teams you guys got on the schedule. I mean, I saw the schedule earlier today, and it's some big hitters on there.
Well, I mentioned to you too that we're going to play a jamboree for the first time in years. August 21st, we're going to have Cottage Hill and St. Luke's, Monroe County, and St. Michael's. St. Michael's, I don't know, they've named a new coach, and that's Philip Rivers, but they've got an interim coach. They're coming over, so there's five of us going to be there playing a couple of halves. But then we open with, you know, UMS, defending state champion, and they're going to be a 5A team. And they handled us pretty good 2 years ago. It was a little closer last year, but well, they are a tough opener. And then we go right into our 4A schedule. We play 4A Atmore, Escambia County. We got to go there. We got to play. We'll play home against WS Neal, which traditionally has been a really, really good program. Um, Pensacola Catholic, a ranked team, in Florida. I skipped Viger. We got Viger at home, a perennial power. So, I mean, that's just the first five. We also have in our area, we've got a very good Jackson and a great Williamson team. We have to play St. Michael's, and I think we close it out with BC Range. So I don't know if we could have made it any tougher than we did. What I've been telling our players, Ron, is that the greater level of competition, the less mistakes you can make. And we're just going to have to do a really good job of protecting the ball and not giving up big plays.
Now, WS Neal is a team that you guys might want to watch out for because they got some pretty good guys on that roster right there. But coach, now if a kid wanted to come out and play for you there at Mobile Christian, what do you expect out of those kids, your kids?
Well, we talk all the time about being a complete player, Ron. I want those guys to be a complete player, and I don't mean offense, defense, or being good at this or that. I'm talking about being a good football player, but being a good man, being a good student, being a good teammate, being a good child, a son for your family. And you know, I tell these guys all the time, it's my hope that one day somebody comes up and says, Coach Cottrell, Deontay Lawson is one of the finest football players I've ever seen, but he's an even better man. And people have already said that to me. They've already said that to me this year. that's what I'm hoping happens. But our school, man, our school is busting wide open. We've got, our school is almost full. I mean, literally because of interest in the school itself. But all you have to do is go by and apply for. Actually, you can go online and apply, or you can come by the school and visit. It's a great place with. I mean, the demands are high here as far as academics, and the priorities are important. But it's a great place. It really is.
Well, and you just spoke about academics. How important that is, to your program. To have kids that are a student athlete. Notice I say student athlete. You got to be get it in the classroom before you get it out there on the field. So talk a little bit how important that is.
Well, you know from your service, Ron, how many years you been doing this?
I've been
Years.
doing it for a while. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it starts with that test score. It starts with ACT or SAT and your GPA. There's a sliding scale. And I'm fortunate to be at a school where there's a priority in that test score. I mean, we do a great job at our school preparing our students for college and for life, but they do a great job on the test. The better the grades, the better the test, the more schools you're going to have that you can go to, that you can be recruited by. But for us, it's the priority. I mean, you got to have grades to qualify for athletics. You got to have grades to qualify for scholarships. But I mean, you got to have good grades if you're going to compete in life, and that's what we just keep trying to remind our guys.
Now, anything new? I know you guys just opened up the I think what is that the elementary school over there at Mobile Christian recently.
We did, and man, it's a brand new elementary building, K3 through fifth grade, excuse me, K3 through fifth, and it's just a really, really good facility. And like I said, I think that's had a lot to do with our school just wide open, a lot of interest, and it's just a really, really exciting time at Mobile Christian School.
I know I came over there at the end of last season, and your athletic director took me on a little tour. And man, if I'm a kid, it's like a kid in a candy store. You got all the different things and stuff, the police station, the post
It
office.
is, but you
I
know what? I thought you had at that game, you had two or three games. All the games you had at our places were really well attended games
oh
and
yeah.
outstanding games and a lot of good players. And I want to go ahead and say that I appreciate what you do, Ron. I mean, helping these kids be seen out there by all these colleges. And just like I mentioned, I mean, you picked out Jason Brooks very quickly, and Jason's got offers everywhere right now. I mean, right now we have three kids with Division I offers and more. I think that could happen, but even our linemen, some of the guys that you commented on, Josiah Evans has already got offers. Jay Dingman, Elijah Kelly. A lot of our players have already got offers because people are pushing them out there. We do it at our place, but it's always better when other people do it. And I don't know how you got started, but I'm really thankful that you do what you do.
Well, trust me, it wasn't easy. I mean, you got to pay the way, and everything's actually paying off. And thank the man upstairs, because
Amen.
none of this would definitely be possible. And in the last 2 days, today I had Grambling State head football coach on. I mean, actually, we're Southern University head football coach on. Yesterday I had Grambling. I've had Coastal Carolina on. A lot of college coaches, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, all those guys. And we're gonna try to keep coming. I try to get Les Miles on and Dan Mullen. But they're actually on vacation right now. I'm like, okay, they on vacation, so they're coming back. So hopefully we'll have those guys on. But it's all about
That's
getting those college
awesome.
coaches here in the region.
That's awesome. I mean, it's awesome, and it exposes our players in this area, and we really appreciate it. I know your program goes out everywhere, but it's just great exposure for Mobile, Alabama.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mobile Christian head football coach Ronnie Cottrell. Thanks for coming on the network today, Coach.
Thank you for what you do, Ron. God bless you, and go Leopards.